Picture this. You spend somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000 on an RV. You do the research. You read the brochures. You walk the showroom floor 3 times. You buy the dream. 18 months later, the sidewall is bubbling. The slideout won't seal. And the warranty claim gets denied because a dealer decided the water came in from owner neglect. That's not bad luck. That is the business model. This video is about the brands running that business model and the two that aren't. Number 6, Coachmen. Coachmen traded a 60-year reputation for a production line slot inside the world's largest RV conglomerate, and the product shows it. Founded in Indiana in 1964, Coachmen spent decades as a recognizable mid-market name with a genuine Midwestern manufacturing identity. The kind of brand your parents trusted, the kind of name that meant something on a campground. It is now owned by Forest River, which is itself owned by Berkshire Hathaway, putting one of the most cost-discipline-focused holding structures in American business in charge of your vacation home. Current Coachmen, travel trailers, and Class C motorhomes share floor plans, cabinetry systems, and structural components with multiple other Forest River brands. Retail prices on entry. Coachmen travel trailers run somewhere around $25,000 to $55,000. Competitive on sticker, considerably less competitive on longevity. Staple and Luan interior wall construction is common across the Forest River platform, and delamination complaints appear consistently in owner communities within 3 to 6 years of purchase. Here is the mechanism. The Coachmen name carries nostalgia weight with buyers who remember the brand's independent era. The product underneath is a Forest River platform build. Same frame sourcing, same lamination methods, same subcontractor network as brands 2 rungs below it on the price ladder. The badge costs more. The guts do not justify the difference. When a sidewall delaminates, repair costs run roughly $1,500 to $4,000 per panel, depending on how far the damage has spread. Buyers who purchased expecting the Coachmen of their parents' era are posting repair bills that exceed what they're paying annually on the unit itself. The nostalgia premium is real. The engineering premium is not. Coachmen is not a scam. It is something more insidious. A trusted name being slowly spent down. Next, a brand that didn't just get absorbed. It got rebuilt cheaper and called it an upgrade. Number 5, Keystone. Keystone sells more RVs than almost anyone on Earth, and almost nothing about that scale benefits the buyer. Keystone RV, based in Goshen, Indiana, is a subsidiary of Thor Industries, one half of the duopoly that alongside Forest River controls the majority of American RV production. Thor acquired Keystone in the early 2000s and built it into a volume leader. The Montana Fifth Wheel and Cougar travel trailer lines are among the highest-selling RV models in the country by unit count. Montana Fifth Wheels retail somewhere in the range of $100,000 to over $160,000, a luxury-adjacent price point that implies a luxury-adjacent build standard. It does not deliver one. Roof construction on many Keystone models uses TPO or EPDM membrane over thin decking, and seam failures and delamination are among the most consistently reported issues in owner communities. You are not buying a precision-built coach. You are buying a brochure that leads with residential-style features, hardwood-look flooring, fireplace inserts, theater seating, while the structure beneath those features is built to a price point, not a lifespan. Volume production means tolerant stacking, small gaps between panels, imperfect seals, components sourced to the lowest qualifying bid. Those tolerances don't announce themselves at the dealership. They show up when the coach is 18 months old and sitting in the rain. Warranty behavior compounds the problem. Owners report claims denied on water intrusion damage classified as owner maintenance failure, despite the entry point being a factory seam. A delaminated slide-out wall on a Montana class unit is a multi-thousand-dollar repair that falls outside warranty in year 2. Volume is not quality. It is, in many ways, the opposite of quality. Coming in at number 4, a brand that actually used to build something worth trusting, until the wrong people got involved. Number 4, Winnebago. The Winnebago that built its reputation on all-steel construction and corner-to-corner craftsmanship is not the Winnebago producing the full range of units rolling off Indiana lines today. Winnebago Industries was founded in Forest City, Iowa in 1958, and the early motorhome, steel unibody, high durability, designed to run for decades, set the benchmark for American RV construction. That legacy is real. The problem is what the badge now covers. Winnebago is still publicly traded and still produces motorhomes and towables, but its product portfolio has expanded significantly through acquisition, and the quality signal has blurred accordingly. The premium motorhome lines, the View, the Travato, the e-Keiko, maintain genuinely higher build quality. They also carry price tags in the range of $130,000 to well over $200,000 and represent a different product tier than most buyers associate with the name when they see it on a towable at a mid-market price point. The badge is now applied to a product range that spans from legitimately well-built motorhomes to entry-level towables built to the same tolerances as competitors selling for less. Owners who bought mid-range Winnebago towables expecting the motorhome legacy are consistently reporting fit and finish issues that belong to the broader Indiana production cluster, not to the Iowa craftsmanship of the original era. That is the mechanism. 65 years of earned trust, now deployed across a product range that cannot uniformly honor it. You are paying for brand memory. Some of that memory is attached to a product that still earns it. A lot of it isn't. The name is real. The uniform quality standard behind it no longer is. And number 3, the most structurally cynical entry on this list, turned the gap between two manufacturers into a place where your repair bill goes to disappear. Number 3, Thor Motor Coach. Thor Motor Coach is the corporate spine of the American RV industry, and that position has insulated it from accountability that a smaller manufacturer simply could not survive. Thor Industries is the largest RV manufacturer in the world by revenue and unit volume, with ownership across dozens of brands. Thor Motor Coach is the motorhome division, Class A, Class B, and Class C units, operating at a scale that few consumer product companies in any category can match. Class A gas motorhomes retail somewhere in the range of $150,000 to over $300,000. Diesel pushers run considerably higher. Thor Motor Coach units have been subject to multiple documented safety-related recall actions across various model years. The pattern is part of the public regulatory record, and owners researching before purchase should run the VIN through the NHTSA database before signing anything. But the more structural problem isn't the recalls, it's the warranty architecture. Here's where it gets genuinely cynical. When something goes wrong on a Thor Motor Coach unit at the boundary between the coach body and the chassis, and that boundary is where a lot of things go wrong, you get handed a phone. Ford covers the powertrain. Thor covers the coach. Neither covers the consequential damage in the space where the two systems meet. At Thor's production volume, a recall is a line item. The company has the legal and operational infrastructure to manage regulatory exposure as a cost of doing business. The buyer does not have equivalent leverage. Owners report months of back and forth for repairs running from $8,000 to $25,000, stuck between two manufacturers pointing at each other. That is not bad luck. That is the architecture. Now, here is who actually builds an RV worth handing to your kids. Drop a comment right now. What brand did you buy? And what did it actually cost you in year 2? Not the sticker. The real number, after the repairs, after the warranty fights, after the parts you paid for out of pocket. Because I want to know if your experience matches what comes next. 4 brands, 4 different ways to lose money slowly. Now the 2 manufacturers that still treat a sold unit as the beginning of the relationship, not the end of it. Number 2, Airstream. Airstream is the only RV brand in American history with a documented secondhand market that rewards age because the product actually holds together. Founded by Wally Byam in the 1930s and now owned by Thor Industries, Airstream occupies a structurally unique position. Despite corporate ownership, the product line has remained architecturally consistent for decades. The riveted aluminum monocoque shell, the defining feature since the post-war era, is not a styling choice. It is a structural decision that eliminates the wood-framed, laminated sidewall failure mode that kills most RVs within a decade. No Luan, no staples, no laminated panels waiting to separate. An Airstream travel trailer runs somewhere in the range of $45,000 to over $200,000, depending on model and length. It depreciates differently than a conventional travel trailer, and that is the math that matters. Used Airstreams from the 1970s and 80s sell actively and command prices that would be unthinkable for a wood-framed coach of the same age. Across a 15-year ownership period, the total cost of ownership math frequently favors the Airstream even against coaches with lower sticker prices. Once you account for what you don't spend on delamination repairs, sidewall replacements, and warranty fights. The restoration community built around the brand is itself evidence. Restorers do not build industries around products that fail. The aluminum shell can be re-riveted. The frame can be accessed. Components are not sealed systems. Independent shops work on Airstreams without proprietary software blocking the diagnostic pathway. The logo carries a premium. Unlike most logo premiums in this industry, this one has engineering under it. One brand does everything Airstream does, and adds frame integrity and dealer network depth that the aluminum icon still cannot match. Number 1, Grand Design. Grand Design entered a market controlled by duopoly volume producers and built a reputation for structural integrity in under a decade. By doing the things the volume producers stopped doing. Founded in Middlebury, Indiana in 2012 by former RV industry executives who explicitly cited dissatisfaction with how the dominant manufacturers were building product, Grand Design was acquired by Winnebago Industries in 2016, but has operated with meaningful manufacturing autonomy, and its quality metrics have not declined post-acquisition in the pattern that typically follows a conglomerate purchase. The founder's fingerprints are still in the product. Grand Design's reflection, fifth wheels, and Solitude Luxury fifth wheels retail in the range of roughly $60,000 to over $160,000. The structural differentiation starts at the frame. Thicker steel tube framing than the category standard. Residential grade components in the electrical and plumbing systems, and a construction process that treats moisture management as a manufacturing priority rather than a sealant maintenance problem you hand off to the owner. That last point is the one that separates Grand Design from every villain on this list. They are engineering against the failure mode, not around it. Grand Design consistently ranks at or near the top of J.D. Power RV dependability studies. Owner communities report lower rates of delamination, water intrusion, and structural failure than category peers. Independent RV inspection services flag Grand Design units at lower rates for pre-purchase defects than comparable Thor or Forest River product. Dealers rank it among the highest for warranty support responsiveness, meaning when something does go wrong, the claim doesn't disappear into the gap between two manufacturers' legal teams. Grand Design is what this industry looked like before volume became the product. The RV industry has perfected the art of selling the dream and billing you for the reality. Two companies control the majority of what sits on American dealership lots, and their entire business model depends on you not running the total cost of ownership math before you sign. The brands on the back half of this list, Airstream and Grand Design, are not perfect. Nothing built at scale is. But they are building against the failure modes that the volume producers have quietly accepted as someone else's problem, meaning yours. Tell me in the comments what brand you trusted and whether it held up. Because the more owners share what actually happened in years 2, 3, and 5, the harder it gets for the bad actors to keep running the same play. If this saved you from a 6-figure mistake, subscribe. Because the next video covers what happens inside an RV dealership when the salesperson knows you haven't done this research. If you want to see more, click the video on screen now.